Hello everybody, this is Brian with Vermillion Enterprises. It is Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. Silver is retracing a bit. We're at $29.60 per ounce, give or take, and gold is somewhere around 2,330, give or take. So it was to be expected, and probably will keep retracing a bit, maybe not all at one time, which is we wish it would do, but probably on its way back down a little ways. And as promised, we're adjusting our premiums as we're watching the price fluctuate and try to find where it's going to hang out for a little bit. So once we get comfortable with those numbers, then we'll put up a premiums video. So, but if you are interested in purchasing or selling anything, please reach out to the shop, and Tim will be happy to help. Tim put up a post 4 or 5 days ago asking what questions do you have for Brian, what questions do you have for Tim. Leave a comment. So some people reached out and left comments, so I thought we would address those. Sometimes people do enjoy these types of Q&A type videos. So first person said, this is Local Coin Review. General statement, you guys do great work. We appreciate that. I appreciate your content and your professionalism. You guys are honest and straightforward. We definitely appreciate that. I do wish I could browse your inventory to make a tailored purchase. God bless. We touched on this in the past a bit. So when you see those online portals that the bigger wholesalers and well, the bigger dealers out there that are e-commerce, really e-commerce platforms, those are your AppMaxes, your JMs, your SD Bullions. You'll see their prices are often significantly higher than what we're selling it for. And that is because those portals are expensive. And we have one that we have set up for some type coins and some lower denominational type material. And I think we lose, just under 10% to the portal when it's all said and done. I think it's like 7 or 8% by the time the credit card fees processed, the clear sale, which is what verifies that the person is a real person and not some robot, and then also the platform itself, the fee it takes out. So it's really not worth selling bullion on those platforms for us, because the fees just eat into it too much. And also, we're a smaller operation, much smaller operation, and therefore our, to stay on top of our actual inventory, it'd be a monumental task. It'd be a 2 or 3 person job, and that's just not in the works financially. So it's just expensive to run those platforms, and that's why you see that their prices are significantly higher than ours on most things. So that's why we just don't have our inventory up online. So hopefully that makes sense. Kevin Frazier says we need daily videos. First thing I look for. Well, we definitely appreciate that. Daily videos, that's just not going to happen. To create content actually takes quite a bit of effort. We did a buy it now video yesterday. Well, that was Tim's whole day. And then also is about 4 hours of my time putting the content together for the video. So daily videos just don't happen. We do try to crank out as much as we can, but it is what it is. Then he goes on to ask, would you say you have more net sellers or buyers year to date for the business? I would say that it's pretty even with the number of people buying and the number of people selling, but the quantity or the volume of what the sellers are selling at greatly dwarfs what people are buying. So that's why so much material is just going straight to the refineries or the wholesalers to be melted down and cashed out. How do you hedge Bill Frazier then asked, how do you hedge your in-store inventory, futures or spot? No hedging. We ride by the seat of our pants here. We win big, we lose big. It happens. There's been days where I've lost over 100 grand on paper, maybe even 150 grand on paper. I don't sweat it, because there's days where I make that. So it's don't hedge at all. We ride by the seat of our pants, and we keep our margins tight, so we're moving material, And that's why also at the end of the day, if we have any extra bullion that I don't think is going to sell, we dump it on the refineries immediately and get out of it, because we don't want to get stuck if we can help it. And that is why also when silver went north of 30, I have not been restocking anything. So we just been anything that we've been getting in is just organic across the counter or from you guys out in YouTube Nation. I haven't been placing any orders with distributors because I'm not going to get stuck. So we've been running lean product wise. Once it dips back below 25 on silver, I'll reorder and restock and refill my position. But at this point, position is being filled organically. And if we're out of something, we're out of something. That's just the way it is. Right now, we sold out of 5-ounce bars, for example, yesterday. I have none ordered. Not going to until silver gets back under $25 per ounce. So, because I don't want to get stuck. And so, because we do not hedge. I know a number of really big time dealers, distributors, whatever you want to call them, people that just hold and they do hedge. And if you talk to them and you actually get them to be honest, it really is a wash by the time you pay the fees and deal with all the ins and outs of actually hedging material. It's kind of, it's a real, you do protect yourself in case there's a cataclysmic drop. But at the end of the day, with the markets operating the way they do, they basically just wash out. And that's what I've noticed. There's been days where I've had huge losses on paper due to a drop in the metals market. But you know, the reverse is true. We have huge gains on paper some days when we have huge bumps. So kind of at the end of the year, it just all washes out. So I don't sweat it too much. Do you report any purchases over $10,000? We follow every FinCEN law to the letter. So you already know the answer to that question. All right, John Smith, for Brian, how do you determine your position in both gold and silver? Great question. When silver is relatively cheap, you know, under $25 per ounce, I maintain fixed positions. So I have X number of rounds, X number of 5-ounce bars, 10-ounce bars, kilos, 100-ounce bars. And that's nothing specific in the way of how I determine that. It's just what I feel is comfortable and what the market dictates that I need to have on stock for buyers across the counters. And right now I have no position. So because you know, the market, I feel silver is just too expensive right now to stock it. And also I know that especially when we have a retracement, which is what is happening right now, people are going to be lined up to the doors selling their material over the next couple weeks because they feel like it's time to get out. They don't want to get stuck either as silver keeps going down. And he continues on to say, I know you've talked about not getting heavy in one area. How do you figure that? Again, it's just I'm watching the market. I'm feeling it organically, what people are wanting to purchase. And so I make sure that I maintain adequate levels of what I feel people are going to want to order so I can fill those orders without getting stuck too heavy in one thing or another. And if someone wants to make a major purchase and I don't have it, well, then we'll just order it for them and you know, settle up when the material is delivered. So it's pretty easy in that sense. It's actually not too complicated. Synax of the 70 asks, is the summer slump coming? I tell you what, we're feeling it. Business has not been as brisk as it has been in the past. The online guys, distributors, some of the other guys that I know that do wholesale, they're quiet too. Even the local pawn shops are quiet right now. So summer slump, yeah, I think we're going to see a real summer slump this year. In fact, I think we're already seeing it. Yesterday's Buy It Now video was a loser. By the amount of time that Tim put into it and the amount of time that I put into it, I wish we hadn't done it, to be honest with you. So it's, you know, people have run out of discretionary income, and that's to be expected with the raising rates of inflation. You know, it's crazy how much M2 money is leaving the market, and But I mean, we had a huge amount of M2 money infused into the market, so it makes sense that it's leaving it. But the cost of living isn't going down with the amount of M2. So people are hurting right now. Yesterday alone, we had 2 people come in and sell their metals, significant amounts of metals, either to help renovate the property that they had just purchased, or putting down as a down deposit on a property that they are purchasing. We're always happy to help with those transactions. It always makes me feel good to do that. I'm helping a friend out right now who we're putting his house on contract. So we're actually buying his house and then we're going to sell it back to him on contract. So it's, you know, I always enjoy helping people in that sense. And we're always happy to help with those larger transactions. It's an important part of life. That's why people speculate with gold and silver or store it as a preserved wealth, because they know these big life-changing events do happen in life, and they need to have some fallback that they don't, you know, that doesn't evaporate on them into the void, if you will. So if you got metals stored, it's a great savings. It's an extra step for people to prevent them from spending their money. And so that's great if you're thinking about making a big purchase at some point in time. That way you can prepare yourself to make that purchase without spending your money at the same time. So a lot of people buy gold and silver from us for that exact purpose. And then when they're ready to make that life-changing decision, they come to us and sell it back to us, and we are happy to help. Make sense, Tim?
That makes sense.
Tim's being super quiet today. Would you only have 2 cups of coffee today?
Only 2.
Only 2.
Notice I walked in with the big cup this morning.
Yeah, I've only had 1 so far today, and I am feeling it. So, tell you how slow yesterday was. We went to the lake last night and drove back this morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's that's how slow it was last night or yesterday. And then Medhead 964 says, not to beat a dead horse regarding foreign fractional gold, but I was doing some online comps and noticed that all the online retailers are selling their 1/10 foreign gold at around 18% over mil or higher, with APMEX close to 30%. I totally get sending a lower premium ounce and half-ounce coins off to be melted in this volatile market, but if you were buying foreign at spot or just below and sold a 1/10 and quarter-ounce foreign gold at 8 to 10% over, beating the online dealers, you make $25 about per coin. And a spot would have to tank a couple hundred before you lose money, if my math is correct. I think it is. Anyways, yes, except we have to collect sales tax. So state of Florida, you know, in those tenths, we'd have to collect sales tax. So add another 6.5% to it, and it's just, what's the point? So that's why we don't do it. That's why we stick with the American gold. So by the time we add the sales tax onto the foreign 10th ounce gold, it's actually cheaper to buy a 1/10 ounce gold eagle. So that's why we don't do it. Makes sense, Tim?
Makes sense.
All right. So was there another one? That was all on that one. I thought there was another post that you put up. Yeah, you did here. Let's see here. Tim put up a post also 4 days ago. At what price are you selling your silver? And a lot of people said, over 67% said I'm not. So
so are those people really in the market?
Yeah, because they're doing one or two things. And this is great. So they are setting silver aside for one of two reasons. One, as to leave it to their heirs, so as as an inheritance, really. That's not cash, so you know it's a good way to keep up with the market and to hand your whoever you're leaving your wealth to metals rather than cash. So I can subscribe to that. The other reason is just for what we talked about. They're using precious metals as a savings account, and so that they don't spend their money. And if they do have a life-changing decision to make at some point in time, they can fall back on that, and it really won't matter what the price of the precious metals are at that point in time, because they've preserved their wealth as a savings during the meantime. Because I know a lot of people that, and they tell us this basically daily, that they buy silver or gold with whatever money they have left at the end of the month or at the end of their paycheck, because they know if they don't, and it stays in their bank account, it'll go bye-bye. So so yeah, they're in the market. A big part of the market, I would say. A lot of people mentioned here, I'm not going to go through them all, but a lot of people are still following the gold to silver ratio, which kind of is interesting to me. So I don't put a lot of stock in that, because the silver market is not an organic market. Gold market is, I think, a lot more organic than the silver market, but silver market's paper derived, so it'll do whatever the likes of Jamie Dimon want it to do. So I don't think it's kind of like cryptocurrency. It's not organic. It's totally left open to some guy pushing buttons. So I don't really put stock in the gold to silver ratio, but I am surprised by the number of people who do, and it's interesting to me. So yeah, anything, were there any other questions that I did not see or get, Tim, that you think people would enjoy us or be interested in hearing our take on?
I'm sure they'll ask them eventually.
Okay, but nothing that you know off the top of your head?
Nothing I know off the top of my head.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate the business, everybody, and we're going to keep going on. Once we feel like silver and gold have kind of found their home, if you will, and the volatility has kind of left it, we'll start putting out premiums videos again. Of course, we always are reserving the right to change the premiums as we see fit, which we did today. So we changed the premiums on a lot of different items, and we're going to continue to monitor the market and see where it goes to before it seems to want to settle down, because it has definitely been volatile lately, that's for sure.
So are we focusing more on in-store sales or online sales right now?
Well, Tim, your employment depends on online sales, so I would figure that out. And that seems like a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's the answer?
I would, sales cures all.
Sales cures all, right? Yesterday's online sales sucked ass, that's for sure. Yeah, we were really disappointed with yesterday's Buy Now video. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come, but we'll definitely keep cranking out content until it doesn't pay to. Well, you guys have a great day, and if there's anything else we can do for you, please reach out to the shop. We're always happy to help. I hope you guys enjoy your week, and looks like it's going to be a hot one here in Florida with minimal rain. So you guys and gals, enjoy your day. Thank you.